Hey everybody, I'm Bill. I am the salty old Marine. I want to talk about something that I read about a lot online. I go to forums like Reddit and places like that, and I read some comments from veterans, and very often I read it a lot. I read it over and over again. It's the same thing, and it makes me feel bad, but it made me feel like maybe we should do a video about it. What I'm talking about is the VA and your pain. What do I mean by that? Well, let's break it down. A lot of veterans complain online about how things that happened to them in the military have caused them to have problems, physical problems, emotional problems, mental problems. And those are legitimate things. I don't want to take away from that at all. I'm not trying to say that that didn't happen. I'm not trying to say you were wrong to feel the way you feel. Your feelings are valid, and you're entitled to them, and you should have those feelings. But the problem is that the VA is not listening. The problem is that the VA doesn't care, at least when it comes to disability. I'm not talking about health care here. I'm talking about disability. So veterans say, I told the VA in my claim that I was ordered not to go to sick bay. I was ordered not to take care of my medical issues. I was told that the unit would be punished if I took care of whatever the medical problem was. And I believe you. That's probably true. That's probably what happened, because that's kind of the military culture. The problem is there's nothing the VA disability system can do about that. They can't go back and punish your old unit. They can't find your old commanding officer, wag a finger. They can't address any of those things. And they don't give disability based on that. They just don't. You want validation. You want someone to acknowledge your pain. You want someone to say they understand. And you're not going to get it from VA disability. And that is a cold, unfortunate fact. And I'm sorry, because I get it. I've been through some of those things, and I get that. I understand that need for validation, that need for understanding, that need for some kind of human empathy. Tell me you're sorry that this happened to me. Let me know you heard me and you felt my pain. And they don't. And they're not going to. So yeah, you were done dirty. The VA disability system is not here to apologize. They are here to rate you. And if you have a disability that's related to your military service, you can get rated for it. And that money, that's your apology. That compensation is the VA's way of saying, yeah, it happened. Yes, you suffered for it, and you suffer for it today. And here's some money. That's the best you're going to get. But it may not be a terrible thing. So yeah, you deserve to be heard. But the first thing you need to do is get yourself rated. And for that, you need to deal with objective truth. You need to deal with the actual disability and how it affects you today. You need to be able to explain the in-service event, not the 22 people who screwed you over and did horrible things to you that caused the event. Sure, you can put that in your personal letter when you file your claim, but really that's not what the VA disability system is interested in. They're interested in that in-service event. Can you prove it? Medical records, statements from friends, anything you've got that shows that that happened. They need a current diagnosis. They need to know that whatever happened to you while you were in the service is still affecting you today, and here's a letter from a doctor stating that yes, indeed, you still have that particular issue. And then they need that connection between the two. Sometimes that's easy, sometimes that's harder, but the point is you've got to be able to make that connection for the VA. Now, if you can do those things, then you can be rated for disability. And if you went to the trouble of reading the 38 CFR, we've talked about this before, you Google 38 CFR for the disability that you're filing for, and you read it. And there's a paragraph on each level, 90%, 50%, 20%, whatever the percentages are. And it says what the requirements are for those particular ratings. And you read those. And you match that up to your actual symptoms. Not talking about exaggerating or lying. I'm not talking about fraud. I'm talking about telling the truth, but being very, very honest about that. So you read that and you say, look at this. I have this, and I have this, and I have this, and that corresponds to X percentage, 50%, 90%, whatever it is, right? And so that's what you speak to in your claim, and that's what you talk about in your CNP exam, if you have a CNP exam. And hopefully that's the rating that you will receive from the VA. It's the closest thing to an apology that you're going to get. And in terms of apologies, it's not the worst thing. I hope that you found this helpful. I want you to understand that I do know about that pain. I do know about being messed over. I do know about a culture that tells people in the military not to seek treatment, not to get help, not to speak up. I understand all of those things, and I understand that you still carry that pain today. And I'm sorry that the VA disability system is not set up to listen to that. They're just not. They are set up to help you with disability claims. So if you can channel that pain and that rage and that anger and that disappointment into actual actionable facts, you can get a disability claim approved, and you can get those dollars coming in every month, and that's your apology. I hope you found this helpful. I'm Bill. I am the Salty Old Marine. Please like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, leave a comment. Go ahead, unload. I want to hear it, and I'll listen, and I believe you. And maybe we can get some validation from each other. As always, have a great day.